For our next test, we're going to swage a Medlok fitting onto the end of this 1/2" K copper tubing that's previously had a cap brazed onto the end. The first step is to mark the depth of the tubing so that we can make sure that we get the full insertion. You can see as it goes into the gauge, it's down on the end all the way into the window here. It's visibly on the end. And then we take the magic marker and mark the depth of the tube. You can see the depth now, and as it's installed into the fitting, we will not see the depth, making sure that we've inserted it all the way into the Medlok fitting. We've inserted the tube into the Medlok fitting, and you can see that the depth mark is no longer visible, meaning that we've inserted it to the full depth of the body into our Medlok fitting. Next, we will insert the fitting into the swaging tool and make the installation. Next, we're going to install the fitting with the tubing into the die head and make the installation of the swage with the die head. When you hear that audible click, you know that the swage is complete. You can see that was a fast installation, and we now have the fitting swaged to the tube, and also that you can see that our depth mark is visible, meaning that it's been swaged properly and the tube was inserted to the full depth during the swage. I've installed the Medlok fitting with the tube into our test chamber, and we're now going to put in the safety guard and start to pressurize the fitting. This K tubing is rated at 1682 psi, but it is fully annealed from the cap that was brazed on the end. So we're going to see what kind of pressure we can get in up to it. We're now past the rating of the tubing as we approach 2000 psi, 3000 psi. You can see that the fitting is performing excellently without any leaks in the tube. You can see this, the tubing is starting to swell. And we achieved a burst at 4000 psi, over twice the rating of the tubing at 1682 psi. You'll notice that both the cap maintained its seal, and also the Medlok fitting maintained its seal onto this fully annealed tubing. In summary, here's a test that we had performed on 1/2" K tubing rated at 1682 in our test chamber that went to 4000 psi before it burst. The tube was fully annealed. As we can see, it expanded during the test, but the Medlok fitting performed flawlessly. As stated in the NFPA 99 requirements, that a mechanical fitting should perform with equal performance as the brazed cap, and both of them were able to hold during this pressure test at 4000 psi burst.